This ESPN production available on ABC HD, presented by Dish Network. UCLA coach Karl Dorrell with a quarterback decision this week. And for more on that, let's go to our colleague, Lisa Salters. Lisa.
Well, Brent, Karl Dorrell sat both of his quarterbacks down on Wednesday before practice and told them that Patrick Cowan would indeed be the starter this week. Now, Dorrell at yesterday's walkthrough told me, he said, we just felt it was best for us to keep going with the guy we've been working with for the last 6 weeks to keep the status quo. I talked to Cowan in Westwood on Thursday after their practice, and he said he had been preparing all week as if he was going to be the starter, even though he didn't know for sure. I asked him about maybe putting added pressure on himself, knowing that Ben Olsen is now healthy and waiting in the wings, and he admitted, it's hard not to have that in the back of my mind, but I cannot let myself get sidetracked. He said, I know what I have to do. Our entire team knows what it has to do. We've been emphasizing our team motto all week, and that is, we do not have to be the best team in the country. We just have to be the best team on the field today. Brent?
All right, Lisa, thank you on a beautiful day here in Pasadena. So Karl Dorrell and quarterback Patrick Cowan will handle the ball first. USC won the flip, and they have deferred. So the Bruins will take the football, and Karl looking for his first win against Pete Carroll and the Trojans. 5-0 against arch rival UCLA since he became the head coach. Just one of the remarkable numbers that Carroll has forged at USC. Troy Van Blarkum, who's had some difficulty reaching the end zone with his kickoffs lately from the 35. He said no injury problems. He's a head case. So there's a kicker who admits it and right away finds the end zone. They'll take a knee, and Cowan and the Bruins will bring it out. So let's talk about Patrick Cowan and the UCLA offense. Coach, what do we expect to see here?
I think the first thing, the reason Patrick Cowan got the nod, Brent, over Ben Olsen, he can run. He can get away from the pressure that you know USC is going to bring. I look for UCLA to line up and try to run the football, though, against this USC defense.
He's 6'5", 218, and on first down, they go empty. Marquis is not lined up in the traditional spot, the leading receiver. USC with enormous pressure, second down and 10. And terrific coverage by Brian Cushing, who dropped off the defensive line. So there is Marquis, and he'll be busy today. Brandon Brazil. UCLA needs a big play wide receiver. Will it be him? Should Cowan struggle, there's the left-hander, Ben Olsen. Started the first 5 games, went out then with a knee injury, but he is healthy and ready to go here today. Now Marquis is ready on 2nd and 10, lined up behind Cowan. That's Petrie, the fullback, who will lead Marquis, and this is going to be 3rd and long right away. Our outback offensive lineup for quarterback Patrick Cowan and the gentleman he has in front of him, and he'll count on Alexi Lanis, been slow by the flu this week, and Shannon Tabaka right there on the left side of the line. So they have to hold up against this USC defense here today, and right away the Trojans put the Bruins in 3rd and long. Has time, fires middle, incomplete. He threw high that time. So it's 3 and out, and Cowan had a receiver open, Coach.
Brent, he did excellent job of pass protection by UCLA as Pete Carroll brought the safety blitz, and Baumgartner was open across the middle. But if one thing Patrick Cowan struggles with, Brent, it's consistency with accuracy throwing that football.
Aaron Perez back to punt. Reed, the deep man for the Trojans. Desmond hit right away and down at the 33-yard line. And that's where we will see John David Booty and the Trojans for the first time here this afternoon. Matthew Slater, terrific coverage that time. Just nailed Reed as soon as he caught the football. Here's John David, 25 touchdowns and 8 interceptions, doing a solid job replacing Matt Lyon.
It impressed me so much last week, Brent. He had the 2 interceptions late in the first half against Notre Dame, but bounced back in the second half and had a phenomenal second half.
The freshman, C.J. Gable, the starter. Chauncey Washington still a little nicked up. We will see him. Split backs throwing, almost intercepted. Incomplete, 2nd down and 10. Christian Taylor, whose ankle completely healed, was the man there in the middle on that play. He's your middle linebacker for the Bruins.
One thing you'll notice early, this UCLA defense undersized, but they can really run. Reggie Carter, 218-pound freshman linebacker right there.
2nd down and 10. The zone blocking, looking for Gable on the stretch on a cutback just short of the 40-yard line. Chris Horton, the safety, up to make the stop, but there is a flag on this play. Jack Follard, our Pac-10 referee today, and the umpire is Timothy Morris there. So the Trojans lose pretty good 3rd down position on this play with this penalty, and it's time for our IBM Star Watch. There's CJ, the freshman. We told you about him. Dwayne Jarrett, coming off a big game. He's been on a run. And Fred Davis, the tight end, figures very prominently in Pete Carroll's plans here today. Meanwhile, the Trojans will have to deal with a 2nd down on the other side of the 30-yard line. Ball is spotted right about the 29-yard line after the holding call.
This UCLA defense, 4th in the country in sacks with 37. The 2 defensive ends with 24 sacks combined. So right now that penalty was huge as Carl Durrell looks on.
Using 2 wide, Alan Bradford is in as the running back. The right tackle moved. And so it is the Trojans experiencing problems. Kyle Williams pulling back.
Prior to the snap, false start. Number 78 on the offense. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Anytime you have speed rushers, and that's what Bruce Davis, number 44, is at the top of the screen right here. Undersized, but he's quick. Forces the false start right there on Kyle Williams. Brent, will be interesting as this game develops. Sam Baker, 79. Mel Kiper has him as a top 10 draft pick in the 1st round. The left tackle may get one-on-one. Kyle Williams may need help on the other side.
Gable back in as the running back on 2nd and 19 for USC. Booty drops it off. Here's Davis's first catch of the game. We told you he finished very prominently in the final plans for this game.
USC's only given up 7 sacks in the last 7 games, and this is a big part of it. You see Booty step up and a little check down right there to Fred Davis. That's a great scheme of offense, Brent, where you don't let that quarterback take a sack.
That is a setback for Dwayne Walker's defense to let him out on 2nd and a bunch, and they come up with a 1st down pass of 20 yards to Davis. Remember, it was 2nd and 19 when they came out. Now the freshman running back crosses midfield, and the stop by Christian Taylor at our outback offense. We've talked about John David Booty and CJ Gable. And there are the 2 tackles we mentioned. Sam Baker on the left side and Kyle Williams over on the right. They have to hold up against Justin Hickman and Bruce Davis. Here, as Coach mentioned, look down on a grand scene. 2nd down and 3, the Rose Bowl. Wide open on the left side. They just blew behind Baker and Radovich for a 1st down. Now the Bruin defense, and you can see immediately they are under fire by this USC offense, and they're Davis and Hickman, the 2 defensive linemen, and Trey Brown. Now he's the best of their corners, but he's only 5'9", and he has to stand up against 6'5", 6'5", and 6 even wideouts. And Jarrett goes over to the right side now on 1st down from the 40. Trey Brown gets ready. Gable, and he is brought down by Dennis Keys, the free safety.
I talked to Pete Carroll on the field before the game, and I asked him, this is an undersized UCLA defense. They love to run those defensive ends up the field. I said, will you be patient and run the ball? He looked at me and smiled and said, no, we're going to do what we do and throw the football. But right here, they are running the football, Brent, taking advantage of the size advantage they have.
And they've got the 4 wideouts in there right now on this play, Coach. 2nd down and 7. There's that quick throw outside. They put it in the hands of Chris McFoy. And again, it's Dennis Keys, the busy safety, making the stop.
And that play, you see it so much in college football, just the little look pass if the defense doesn't cover down and move out in space. It's really like a running play. Just get the ball in Chris McFoy's hands, let him make a play.
Fred Davis and Dale Thompson, both tight ends in for USC. Gable's the running back. Here's your 3rd down and 1. Bruins press the defensive front, and Booty looking to throw out of it, and incomplete. And it did not fool Bruce Davis. The defensive end blew that play up that time.
And Bruce Davis from Houston, Texas. His dad played offensive line here at UCLA. You're going to see him at the top of the field. They leave the tight end, number 89, Dale Thompson, in. Another good job by Booty of stepping up, but just too much pressure.
Trojans will go for it on 4th down. The junior Chauncey Washington checks in as the I-back. A fullback lined up in front of him. Need a yard. Here comes Washington for it. Will not get it. The Bruins jump him and take over on downs.
That is a huge stop, and they're going to bring the corner, Rodney Van, off the tight end side. They get penetration in the backfield, and that is big stop right there for the Bruins.
Not a good memory in the Rose Bowl on 4th down for Pete Carroll. We'll tell you that story when we come back. It's USC and UCLA.
You're watching ESPN on ABC.
Here at the Rose Bowl. Who knows what will happen on January 1st? Granddaddy of them all could be Michigan and LSU. We'll have to wait and see how everything unfolds. 1st down now for Cowan and the Bruins. Deflected again. He has not thrown the ball well. Cushing coming after him that time. Sarts deflected it.
Brent, we go back to that previous 4th down call by Pete Carroll when he went for it, as we see right there. I mean, Sart's an active linebacker, but Pete Carroll, it's a regular thing for him to go on on 4th down. They were 3rd in the country. They had gone for it 24 times, made 18 for 75% before that.
2nd down and 10. Marquis, and he stopped after about a yard gain. But the last time in the Rose Bowl that USC faced a 4th and 1, Trojan fans and Texas Longhorn fans will never forget it. Lindale White was stopped in the hole, and Vince Young marched the Horns down for the winning touchdown in a classic national championship game in last year's Rose Bowl. This time not nearly as costly, as the Bruins face a 3rd and 9. Patrick Cowan, the quarterback, looking to settle down as a passer. Penalty flag, and he does. 1st down, but there is a penalty flag, so hang on. The referee threw it. This could be coming back. It is. It's holding.
Holding on the offense. 10-yard penalty. 3rd down.
We're going to take a look at it. Cedric Ellis, the nose guard right here, 49, a very active nose guard on the center. Chai right there, the holding call.
What'd you think about that call?
I thought it was a good call. I thought he had him clearly beat.
That negates a 21-yard gain. Would have been, could have been. Bruins, they should have been. Third down and 19 now for Patrick Cowan. Here's the delay, nothing doing, forced the punt. Lawrence Jackson and Cedric Ellis, two of the very active defenders for Pete Carroll.
And the margin for error so much less, Brent, for UCLA. Let's face it, they have to play close to perfect to win this football game, and they're their own worst enemy here early in the first quarter.
Matchup again at Desmond Reed. Remember, he was brought down in a hurry on the last punt. Going to let this one roll dead. It's not a real good punt, and it will be down at the 46-yard line. So a short field coming up for John David Booty and the Trojans. It'll be their second possession. We're scoreless in Pasadena. The Victory Bell making a very rare public appearance, and painted in the Trojan colors because they have been the winner. In fact, for 7 straight years they have held on. It'll stay here for 3 quarters in the Rose Bowl, and then it'll be locked up again. John David Booty going back, and he's got Smith. Smith shakes a tackle, but he's out of bounds across the 40-yard line. So Steve Smith, the senior.
What a great route by Steve Smith. What's the outside receiver? Jarrett goes down and clears out, and then Steve Smith comes on the inside post route right there. And I'll tell you one thing, you need to cover that decoy, Dwayne Jarrett, and Steve Smith took great advantage of it right there.
Booty is 3 of 5 for 43 yards. That's a first down, UCLA territory. Play fake. Penalty flag down, ball thrown away. And the linesman on the far side threw the flag.
Prior to the snap, false start. Number 78 on the offense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
That's the 3rd penalty incurred by the Trojans so far in the early going here. They haven't really settled down for Coach Carroll.
And you know, they struggled a little bit against a speed rush team, Oregon State. You know, you've got 2 giant offensive tackles right here, both of them really talented, but 2 undersized, speedy defensive ends. And right now, SC struggling a little bit, just hanging in there at offensive tackle.
Dwayne Jarrett has come off the field. Patrick Turner, number 1, replaces him. Both wideouts are off to the right. John David trying to throw the screen, set it up in the middle, and the Bruins, a very aggressive front. Brigham Harwell all over the intended receiver. He's a junior, like so many of the UCLA starters, underclassmen.
Maybe not a better turnaround story in all of college football, Brent, than this UCLA defense under Dwayne Walker. Gave up 34 points a game last year. This year down to 19.
Dwayne Jarrett back, and Trey Brown goes to him, and they run away from him. And the Bruins stuff the running play as they cross the midfield. There's Christian Taylor, number 33. Scoreless in Pasadena. The Trojans a 2-touchdown favorite here today. 3rd down and 11. Need a win to pursue the national championship game in Glendale. Bruins thinking otherwise. So far, UCLA's defense is as good as Bob Davies said it would be. Looked much better than last year. 3rd down and 11. That's Smith, number 2. Under pressure, Booty has to step up. He's just not being afforded any time. The Bruins are bringing the speed rush.
And Brent, those 2 defensive ends, they're 2nd and 3rd in the country. And look at Hickman up the field on one side, Bruce Davis on the other side. And both of those young guys, their dads played offensive tackle in the NFL.
So both know what it takes to beat an offensive lineman now. And Wojtek, the punter, and this is a beauty. Inside the 10-yard line. Pushing down there to down it on that punt team Long way to go coming up for the Bruins, but they've got to be pleased so far. It's scoreless. This area of coverage brought to you by Goodyear Tires, featuring triple tread technology with 3 separate tread zones for peace of mind in any weather. And we don't have bad weather out here, do we, Coach?
I can see why those freeways are so congested. Everybody wants to live out here.
Yeah, nothing fuels the population of Southern California quite like the Rose Bowl on New Year's Day. And slipping the tackle, Marquis. And we've got an update, so let's go to Matt Weiner in New York. Matt. And Matt, on a rivalry Saturday, it's not surprising to see close scores. Here, no score yet. 6 minutes left in the opening quarter. UCLA's first 2 drives were 3 and out, but not this time. There's their first down of the game. Out to the 31-yard line, and Cowan on the move. Hit the running back, Chris Marquis, the junior from Louisiana.
Great play action fake right here, and Marquis coming out of the backfield. And Brent, you can see why Pat Cowan got the start. This mobility right there, being able to throw on the run.
17-yard gain, Coach, and he's now 1 of 4, his first completion. His best pass of the game was called back because of a penalty, so it is 1st down and 10, and that has settled the nerves a little bit. Those last 2 balls have been very well thrown by Cowan. He comes back, and Marquis, nothing doing, just jammed right at the point of attack by this stout front.
Chris Marquis, you mentioned out of Louisiana. He was Mr. Football in the state of Louisiana. Is not only their leading rusher coming into this game with over 900 yards. We see him limping a little bit. Also, Brent, their leading receiver with 33 catches. So this guy is the whole package when it comes to running and catching the football.
Being tended to on the sideline, and Derek Williams, the junior, number 30, is in as the tailback for the Bruins. Motioning out of the backfield here on 2nd down and 10. Slipped, takes off. There's that running ability. He's got a 1st down and more. Running across midfield. Brilliant run by Cowan and Lawrence Jackson, the defensive end, in pursuit. That is a 30-yard gain. Last week, Brady Quinn of the Irish reeled off a 60-yard run, and here it's a 30 for Patrick Cowan.
Brent, I think that was a bust right there by the USC defense. You saw that huge hole open up, but what a lick and what a hustle play by Lawrence Jackson right there. That's the defensive lineman coming downfield, but I think USC busted. They weren't in their rush lanes on that play.
Ball is spotted at the Trojans' 41-yard line. First drive of the afternoon for the Bruins. Derek Williams stays in as the running back. Receivers are bunched to the right. Petrie is the fullback. Play fake again, buys time. Didn't gain much, though. Perhaps picked up a yard, and let us check in with Lisa Salters.
Well,
Lisa?
Brent, you noticed Cowan slipping on that play before last. This is a brand new field here at the Rose Bowl. The first time anybody has played on it before. It was put in, let's say, after on the November 11th game that the Bruins had against Oregon State. A half hour after that game ended, they started ripping up the old field and started putting in the new one. It's called a Bullseye Bermuda and Ryegrass blend. Costs about $100,000, and the folks here at the Rose Bowl say that this is like a stage, and they want the athletes here to have the best. Brent?
2nd down and 8. Marquis back on the field. Second effort, 1st down, and UCLA driving here in the opening quarter.
Marquis gets an excellent block right here by his fullback Petrie right there on Keith Rivers, and you see how physical Marquis is. And right now, Brent, UCLA taking it to USC.
Already 3 first downs on this drive. Derek Williams checks back in as the running back. They set that power I formation, and then they let Cowan go. Middle is open, and he scampers all the way to the 11-yard line. He just dropped back, and the Red Sea parted, and it's 16 more yards running, and the Trojan defense is going to have to adjust here.
And you can see why he got the start. You see Rivers, the linebacker, on the blitz, Brent. He just takes it, and he is the guy you don't account for, the quarterback running the football. And right now, that's the biggest story of this game, is Patrick Cowan taking off and running with the ball.
See if the Trojans start to spy on him with a linebacker. They put 3 linemen down right now. Stan Cushy, Marquis is your running back. There's that play fake again by Cowan, rolling left, looking, run, pass, going to keep it again. Crosses the 5-yard line and steps out of bounds. He's having a field day running the football on this drive.
You talked about his dad was a quarterback at Washington, then played in the Canadian Football League. Not highly recruited. He was recruited by Idaho, Sacramento State, and Ben Olsen, the guy who's playing behind him today, was recruited by every school in the country.
2nd down and 1. Patrick has a brother who is an injured wide receiver on this team. Another talent. This backfield is empty for him. Fires, incomplete. Kerry Harris, and there's a penalty flag. Kerry Harris, the cover man for the Trojans. Terrence Austin, the freshman from Long Beach, the intended receiver.
Pass interference on the defense, number 7. By rule, the ball is placed at the 2-yard line. Automatic first down.
So it is 1st and goal. Pete Carroll and the Trojans reeling here in the early going against an arch rival. Remember, a couple of years ago, it went right down to the end of the game before USC prevailed, 29-24.
And Shane Moline, the short yardage back in there, the true freshman for UCLA.
Gets the pop. Nothing doing. 2nd down and goal. Travis Toffee, one of the nose tackles, making the stop. Moline can be used at tailback or fullback, interchangeable. San Juan Capistrano.
2 brothers on the team. I think one of them a twin brother.
Now wait a minute. 2 brothers on the team, and one of them's
he has 2 brothers.
He's giving me
one of those brothers is a twin.
I got it. I'm a little slow today.
You never let me slide, do you?
Here's Marquis back, and he is stopped. That was Ellis. Cedric Ellis, number 49, rose up and made a big play. Third and goal. Carroll and the Trojans would love to hold them to a field goal, and they've got the best field goal man in the Pac-10.
And if I'm Carl Durrell, forget about that field goal. This is 2-down territory right now. You're a huge underdog in this game.
You wouldn't go on the board first if they fail here?
Not
all right. Might be moot if they can score here on 3rd down. They're going to roll. Cowan, he's going to cut for the end zone. Dive. Bounce toward a touchdown, UCLA. Let's take a good look at the knee and the ball now.
Boy.
Close, but he might have had it, folks. They are set up for the extra point, and replay is taking a look at it upstairs.
Brent, I agree with you that I think that call will stand. I think the tip of that football, that was the closest angle. You're right.
This is the tough one right here. This last angle.
Again, because it was called a touchdown.
It's hard to turn it over.
It has to be irrefutable evidence.
We'll let the fellas make their decision. That's the one that counts.
But how about Patrick Cowan stepping up on this huge stage right now, Brent, and taking that football team down the field for UCLA?
He's run for 55 yards already in this game.
Think back to last week, Brady Quinn, the longest run of the Notre Dame football season, 60 yards. against USC defense, and that's what it takes. It takes guys creating plays on their own against a defense like USC.
You know what I hear? I hear a little buzz back in the state of Michigan.
Yeah. I think there's probably a few people in Florida, too, that are a little anxious to see what happens here today, don't you?
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. Touchdown.
Cowan rushing on that drive. 4 carries for 55 yards and a touchdown. His long was 29 yards. So Coach Durrell looking good in his decision to leave Cowan under center and have Ben Olsen alongside him on the bench. Now here is Justin Medlock, one of the finest kickers in the country. And Cowan puts it down for the left-footed kicker. Good hold. It is 7-0. Yo boy, the underdog strikes in Pasadena, as we'll like to see. 1:35 left in the opening quarter. UCLA strikes first. They lead the Trojans 7-0. Patrick Cowan, the sophomore quarterback, takes him right down the field.
And in a game like this, you are judged on this game. In this game only, it's so big, not the body of work. And what a great opportunity for UCLA, Carl Durrell, and that young quarterback.
It almost looks like the Trojans are expecting an onside kick here. They have forced 9 men near the front, just in case Durrell and the Bruin coaching staff are going to empty the bag of tricks here. Now they back off too as they see the alignment. Justin Medlock. Into the end zone. Coming out to the 20. Matt Weiner's got an update for us in New York. Matt. Yeah, Matt, the Navy's a 3-touchdown favorite in that game, so Army hanging tough. First down and 10. Here's your toss play. The Bruins forced it back inside, and I can't say enough about Dwayne Walker's defensive work in this game so far. You look back through the years, it has been a series of streaks. 76 career meeting, and USC on a run right now. They've won 7 in a row. 60s and 70s, John McKay and the Trojans. Then Terry Donahue's working right down from us in one of the radio booths. They won the series, and I believe he lost his first 4 or 5. But Pete Carroll has never lost to UCLA. Looking for 6 in a row right now. Second down and 10 against this tough Bruin defense, at least so far. There's short drop time. Slam, got a man. First down at the 49-yard line. Chris McFoy.
And Chris McFoy back healthy now after being injured early in the year. They just leave him uncontested right there, and he runs right up the seam. But Brent, you talk about the game last year. I have never heard a stat like this. USC had 27 plays of 10 yards or more against UCLA last year. 66 points, 35 first downs.
First down and 10 from the 44-yard line for John David Booty. Play fake. Didn't fool anybody, so he drops it off. Fumble! Caught by Jarrett. So Dale Thompson was the receiver. It was jarred loose up in the air, and right there was Dwayne Jarrett, the junior from New Brunswick, New Jersey. ESPN's College Football on ABC returns after this message and a word from our ABC stations. Back in the Rose Bowl with UCLA striking first. But the Trojans have crossed midfield, and they have a second down to start the second quarter from the 49-yard line. Jarrett down at the bottom of your screen. Here's Gable. Gable trying to get the first down, and the stout Bruin front wouldn't let him. Let's take a look now, Coach, at our Pacific Life game summary.
I'm going to go right to the rushing yards right here with UCLA, and Patrick Cowan, the quarterback, gaining the bulk of that yardage right there.
USC hurt themselves with 4 first quarter penalties also. This is your 3rd down and 1, so let's see if Carroll and Lane Kiffin, who's upstairs, decide here just to keep it. Chauncey Washington, keep it on the ground. Williams, the lead fullback. Here it comes again. They are not getting short yardage. They've been stopped on a 4th down. Now they're thrown back by Reggie Carter on a 3rd down. And the USC front is not dominating the front 7 of the Bruins.
And very seldom do you see Pete Carroll not go for it on 4th down. But I understand completely why he just wants to punt this football right here. Good decision.
Fresh respect here. Woidneck, high punt. Fair catch signaled. And is stopped inside the 1-yard line. So that punt by Greg Woidneck pins UCLA back in the shadow of their own goal line. It's a 46-yard beauty.
Brent, keep in mind, in college football, it doesn't matter where your feet are. It doesn't matter where your body is. All that matters is where is the football. That football never crossed the plane of the goal line. It doesn't matter that USC's players are in the end zone. Great play right there by Sarks.
So the Bruins' first possession since they scored the touchdown, being led by running quarterback Patrick Cowan. 4 carries, 55 yards, and a touchdown. He's 2 of 5 throwing for 19 yards. Marquis has rushed for another 17. They're in the power I. Marquis, they think they've got him in the end zone. You can see the Trojans, and he just did slip out.
That's why a lot of times you see people throw the football. Again, the corner, Kerry Harris, right up on the line of scrimmage.
Marquis does an excellent job with the football as he's going down. He was able to adjust the football in his grip. Harris bringing him down. That was close, real close. 2nd down and 10.
And they are right in front of that USC cheering section. It is really loud down there.
Now USC presses the front. Cowan from the end zone. I believe there's a penalty flag thrown by the referee. That's going to be holding. Half the distance to the goal is about an inch in penalty, if that's what it is. And Robert Chai, the center, with his hands full. I don't believe it was back in the end zone. Is back in the end zone? The Trojans are saying if holding's back in the end zone, it's a safety.
It is, Brent.
Holding, number 54 on the offense. In the end zone.
That's it,
rule,
safety.
Safety.
No question.
You leave the center one-on-one with a player with the quickness of Cedric Ellis, the nose guard. That is a difficult matchup. We're going to see it right in your screen right there, Brent.
Good call, bad call, Coach.
On the other angle I saw, Brent, I thought it was a good call. We'll take a look at it right here. Cedric Ellis one-on-one right there. Close, but it looked to me like it was a good call.
Now remember, the key to that was Woidneck's 46-yard beauty with a little backspin, and it was down at the 1-yard line, and the Trojans are on the board with the safety. 7-2, and they'll get the ball back, and we send you down to Lisa.
Well, Brent, before that last series, USC linebackers coach Ken Norton Jr. lit into his linebackers, saying, you guys act like you've never seen a quarterback scramble before. That is the last scrambling yardage that Patrick Cowan gets. They did a good job on that last series. But remember, Brent, Ken Norton Jr., a lot of motivation for this game. He was a great UCLA Bruin linebacker back in the mid-'80s. He came calling for a job back in 2004. Things didn't go his way. He ends up on the Trojan sideline. Brent?
Yeah, he was a great Bruin linebacker. He played for Terry Donahue. He beat USC in a classic back in '86, and Coach Carl Durrell caught a touchdown pass for Donahue in that game. So from the 10-yard line, here's Gable, the running back. Vaults over a would-be tackler, and he is down. You know, there's something else about Norton, folks. Do you remember the time Dallas, Ken Norton, took on Jim Kelly in Buffalo? That's Norton. End of workday for Jim Kelly. One of his Super Bowls. And Norton and Pete Carroll have a past with the San Francisco 49ers. When Pete was the defensive coordinator, Ken Norton Jr. was one of his backers. So there is a man who was one of the best. And his daddy wasn't too bad a fighter either, folks. First down and 10 now. John David Booty and the Trojans play fake. That rush is still getting right at Booty. He legs it this time, and this will be second down and short.
And Brent, it's kind of the same game plan on both sides of the ball. UCLA's defense, a lot like USC's defense, wants to get up the field, and it's always difficult as we look at Dwayne Walker right there to contain the quarterback when you're an aggressive, hard-charging defense. So John David Booty's going to have a chance to run for some yards too in this game.
Jarrett has been quiet, real quiet, slotted right. No time to set up and look. Here comes the blitz. They throw it to him, dropped. Trying to get him a touch. And UCLA, not sure if it was a lateral or a forward pass. So they're on number 8. Jarrett coming off a big game against Notre Dame.
Score was live. Forward progress was ruled.
So there you have it.
Brent, is there another college football crosstown rivalry? I don't think.
No.
This is the only one.
This is the best. This is the best. Always has been. I mean, this is a wonderful rivalry.
And Pete Carroll told me before the game, he is not at all surprised by this. He knew it was going to be tough today.
Let's see how the seating section divided up. This is UCLA's home field out here. UCLA saying that there was movement by the left side of the offensive line. Jumping up and down in protest. Insisting that they get another penalty against USC, and if so, it would be their 6th of the game.
Prior to the snap, ball start. Number 83 on the offense. 5-yard penalty, third down.
That's Fred Davis who moved. So far, no style points for USC. That is for sure. They trail at 7-2.
Tell you what, those defensive ends will be up the field licking their chops right here, Brent.
Yeah, it's third down and 11.
For some reason, Bruce Davis, 44, not in the game for UCLA.
Booty steps away from pressure, drops it off to Gable, a running back, short of the first down. Trojans must punt. So here comes the punting team onto the field, Greg Woidneck, and of course he set up the safety with a beautiful punt. John David is under enormous pressure here so far by this UCLA defense. Ryan Graves back deep. He'll fair catch this one. And he does at the 17-yard line. One of the officials slipping on the play. 7-2 on a gorgeous Saturday afternoon. But it's UCLA leading. The shadow of the San Gabriels. Sellout crowd in the Rose Bowl. Rivalry game. 7-2 Bruins. Inside of 10 minutes left now in the first half. Patrick Cowan bringing the end around. And let's check in with Matt Weiner for an update. And here it's 7-2 UCLA leading USC. Marquis is the tailback. Play fake to him. Cowan on the move, fires a strike for a first down. Marcus Everett, his first catch. He's a junior from West Hills, California. 15 yards.
Again, the quarterback on the run. I mean, throws a bullet off the run. Marcus Everett comes up with the catch in front of Terrell Thomas right there.
And Cowan is one of those quarterbacks who impresses you on the move. And if he starts to throw the ball and you're watching for him to take off, he becomes doubly dangerous. And here comes Marquis, and he's stopped by Cushing. Brian Cushing. Now, yesterday, folks, you could tell because USC was so uptight. I mean, you could just tell. I mean, the looks on the faces, and then, oh yeah, it's Friday at USC practice. It's a lineman. One rule: can't run. Illegal, so he goes to the kickoff. Was shouting and screaming in everybody's ears, and finally, the winner, Ryan Khalil. And there is number 67, the big senior from Corona. So that's how uptight the Trojans were. But believe me, they've knuckled down now. They realize they got a battle on their hands. And Cowan is slammed down by Cushing. Two fine plays by the sophomore from New Jersey.
Brian Cushing, Bergen Catholic High School, a stand-up defensive end, beats Noah Sutherland inside and gets the sack. But Brent, we go back to last night's practice. We see Kenny Norton right there. That's how USC always is. So people shouldn't read into that too much because they're struggling today. They are loose. Their players have fun. Pete Carroll has fun, and that's why they play so well.
Like I said, every Friday, 3rd and 15. Cowan looking to take off. Not much doing this time. Ray Manawaluga, number 58, the middle linebacker right there. Warrior would be the one word you would use to describe him.
He is a great looking guy, but you know what, for Patrick Cowan right there, a young quarterback, Brent, not bad to punt the football. Didn't force the throw. Let your defense keep playing for UCLA.
Perez puts Reed on the run. Will go out of bounds. That's not a good punt. That is very good field position coming up now for the Trojans. So we've got a timeout. UCLA leads it 7-2. Tommy, Trojan just does not like UCLA blue, Coach.
These rivalry games are tough duty on these mascots now. I still think back when I was at A&M and Texas stole Reveille one night up in Dallas.
Oh, man. First down and 10. John David Booty at the controls. 3 wide. Bit of a change up. Coming back with Gable, the freshman running back. The first 4 drives, you can see how Trojans have struggled. 36-16, 33-7. 3 punts and lost it on a 4th down.
And really just constant pressure on John David Booty. Brent, I can't think of a time that he's actually been able to set his feet in the pocket and throw the football.
Here's 2nd down. Linebackers creeping up, trying to get at John David. Smith is well short. Here's that third down. USC is 0 of 4 on third down, and they missed on a fourth down. So here comes their 5th third down of the afternoon.
And Brent, UCLA #1 in the nation in third down defense, only giving up 26% of the time. Notre Dame was 4 of 19 on third down against UCLA. So this is just how the Bruins won. Third down.
With the backfield empty, caught for a first down. Snapped it off and close to midfield, Dwayne Jarrett.
And that's the matchup they want. Rodney Van on Dwayne Jarrett. But again, just a simple little slant route. He uses that big body, kind of that basketball influence as a young guy, Brent. Great positioning right there.
Now Jarrett will come out to the right, and Trey Brown will be the corner. They bring Smith in motion. They've got both the talented ones off to the right. John David Booty's going to look down and then drop it off. He looked long first, came to Gable. A beautiful check down by John David Booty, and a first down.
And Brent, you just said it. What a great check down. The patience by John David Booty. We saw him hit Fred Davis, the tight end, earlier on the check down. Now he just flips it to C.J. Gable. Great offensive scheme in it. They always have an outlet for the quarterback.
Absolutely. And Chauncey Washington will replace Gable as the Trojan running back. Now Chris McFoy also on the field as a wideout. Booty looking for a receiver on the run, throw complete to the 26-yard line. Smith, the receiver.
Good job by Booty. Avoided Bruce Davis, but he throws on the run right now. And Steve Smith, you know, Brent, he gets overshadowed a little bit by Dwayne Jarrett, but week after week, Steve Smith always comes up with clutch catches.
Jarrett back on the field. Patrick Turner, the third wideout. Thomas Williams, the fullback, set in a power I, second and short. They run for the first down with Washington. And let's take you back to the Notre Dame game last Saturday night and Dwayne Jarrett's big night. He did it just about every which way. Shielded off the safety for a touchdown, went airborne up over a corner, one-handed spectacular grab, and then the human pinball wizard just shedding Irish defenders and racing to the end zone. And here's his Uncle Dave. He taught him how to catch with one hand when he was a little boy. Uncle Dave Jarrett in New Jersey would make him catch with one hand. He would practice that way, and the Bruins will use a timeout here.
Well, this guy right here, number 8, Brent, made himself some money last week on prime time against Notre Dame.
Better believe that, huh? A lot of folks think he'll be gone. He'll be a first-round draft choice if he goes. Well, it's time for the Aflac trivia question. Who is the only player to win 3 straight Super Bowls? Nobody should miss that one. First down and 10. Nobody should miss it. Inexcusable if you miss it, folks. Here's John David Booty. And on the move again, hitting Davis, the tight end. But again, that UCLA front, putting John David on the run with that defensive speed, the one thing that the Bruins have here, obviously, up front.
You are right. Bruce Davis that time, number 44, chasing from the backside. I mean, this defense can really, really run.
2nd and 6. Jarrett's off to the left. McFoy inside of him. Chauncey Washington, your running back. Washington, big hole middle, but short of the first down. Christian Taylor, the linebacker.
That was a great tackle by Christian Taylor. Transferred from the Air Force Academy. Finally healthy. He's had a nagging ankle injury all year. That is a great one-on-one tackle because there was a seam right there for Chauncey Washington. Not many guys transfer out of those academies.
Last year, Ohio State had a good one. Schlegel was their middle linebacker. And he played very well for the Buckeye team that beat Notre Dame in the Fiesta Bowl. Gable back as the running back. On the toss play, Gable. First down to the 6-yard line. It'll be first down and goal. USC in their last 8 trips to the red zone, they've scored every time. 5 touchdowns, 3 field goals, and they're moving again.
Last week against Notre Dame, USC ran a variation of this little flip play to the tailback. Again, they pick up the first down.
Dale Thompson checks in. That's how lethal they were in the red zone inside the 20-yard line last week against Notre Dame. Washington back in now. And Mike Brittingham is the fullback. Slipping is John David Booty. He'll have to throw it away out of the pocket, outside of the tackle area, and Bruce Davis again in pursuit.
Great coverage, Brent, by Trey Brown. They wanted to go to Jarrett right here. He plays off coverage. Trey Brown is their best corner. Good job of not looking back to the quarterback right there in man-to-man coverage, just focusing on Dwayne Jarrett.
Otis Brown's son, Trey Brown, a junior, Overland Park, Kansas. Second down and goal. Gable, the running back. Jarrett's off to the left. Gable stopped at the 2-yard line by the middle, and Dennis Keys, the hard-hitting safety, up to help out. It'll be third down and goal.
And keep in mind, USC last year 679 yards and 66 points, grinding for every point they can get right now in this game.
This year, though, they're averaging 32 points a game. USC is being held to 2, and we're down to 1 minute left in the first half. Third down and goal on the toss. Gable dives, end zone, touchdown. USC leads for the first time today. Shades of Reggie Bush going airborne in the Rose Bowl.
And C.J. Gable started out the season as a true freshman starter, fell to third team, goes airborne for the touchdown.
Mario Danello. Danello is 41 of 43 on extra points, so he has missed a couple. But not this time. 12 plays, 66 yards. My apologies to Reggie Bush. He would have turned a somersault going into the end zone. We got a timeout in Pasadena. USC scores a touchdown for the first time today after an earlier safety and leads it to 9-7. Yesterday at the UCLA practice, Coach Carl Durrell telling us what we want to do is stay close. And he has done that so far here in the first half. The question will be, do the Bruins have a finishing kick in the second half? And that is a fine kickoff by Troy Van Blarken, who has found his leg again. Let's go back to that Aflac question now. Aflac! And who is the only player to win 3 straight Super Bowls? You knew it all along. We showed you in action one of them. Now coaching for USC, Ken Norton Jr., a pair with the Cowboys, and then on to the 49ers where he played for Pete Carroll. Pete said could not be happier with him. He brings so much emotion. They told him just to be himself when he came to USC. I said, what about the X's and O's and the overall view? He said he's coming along. He's picking up on that, working hard. First down and 10 now for Cowan. They draw a little bit. look. Cedric Ellis.
USC is going to call timeout right here.
Durrell checking his play sheet.
I think the reason, excuse me, Brent, Carl Durrell talking yesterday about how they imperative to get a quick start. Let's face it, the pressure mounts a little bit more and more if you're USC as this game goes on, just because they have so much riding on the outcome of this game.
That's why I think the way Pete Carroll handles pressure helps relieve that. Eliminates the tension.
I
you don't
agree.
have people walking around all tight, you know.
I agree. And I think that's probably the thing he does the best. He has fun. He enjoys the competitive nature of it. He thinks about what is going to happen and go good, not what is going to happen and go wrong and go bad. And because of that, they play a wide open, reckless style. And he's won 55 of the last 58.
You take a look at this, and I could have used this as an Affleck trivia. 5-1 he is against Notre Dame, 5-0 against UCLA. And who was the only coach to beat Pete Carroll in the two biggest rivalries? You can pay me at halftime, Bob David.
Again?
Mr.
I
David.
paid you last week at halftime. But he has done an unbelievable job.
That's remarkable.
Goes without saying.
He set the bar so high, I can understand why at least his agent would listen to the NFL money. Because how do you equal this year after year after year? Second down now and 9. Patrick Cowan. Very content here. Carl Durrell using Chris Marquis. And, you know, one of the things, and yesterday when I talked to him in practice, I said, Pete, you know, that thing won't go away by you and Arizona. And he said, put it to rest for me.
Yeah.
But, you know, it just keeps coming around and around. He said it's just this time of year.
Yeah, and you know, you always hate to talk about a coach that still has a job. I mean, Danny Green's still the head coach, a pretty good darn coach at the Arizona Cardinals. But I could see why the Cardinals and anybody else would be interested in. I mean, Pete Carroll's done an unbelievable job. Matt Leinart is the Cardinal quarterback. But how do you walk away if you're Pete Carroll from this? And he's having fun. You know, why mess with your happiness? Exactly. And I go back to 55-3 over the last 58. I don't think you're ever going to do that in the NFL. I don't care how good you are. Enjoy it.
I guess not. You know, one of the things when he came out here, the legendary Marv Goo had retired. He went and talked to him. And Marv instructed him, close the borders on the high schools. You got one of the 3 best states for football players in the country, Texas and Florida, the other 2. He did exactly that. He set out on the recruiting trail. They used to have contests, the assistant coaches out here, to see how many high schools they could visit in one day. If you take a look at those lists, you know, we tend to put those down, but I'm going to tell you something. There must be something to those guys, because USC in the top 3 over the last 4 years, they just bring one blue chipper after another on.
And I'll tell you what, Ed Orgeron, now the head coach at Ole Miss, had a lot to do with that early on recruiting for the Trojans.
3rd and 3, and UCLA decides to throw to Logan Paulson for the first down.
And a great job by Logan Paulson of controlling and protecting that football. It did come out there late.
Two-point football game.
And UCLA, Brent, has to be excited going in at halftime, only down by 2.
Well, Durrell on the other side is more of a stoic personality. He doesn't show his emotions publicly, but I'm sure he's going to be pleased at the way the Bruins have played here in the first half. And he's close. He wants to try to apply the pressure and wants to get his guys off the sideline here before they cross. Let's go down to Lisa.
Well, Brett, Coach, after being stopped the first 4 possessions of the game, what was different on that last touchdown drive?
No, we just hooked some stuff up. They're doing a nice job. They've had a couple weeks to prepare, and they threw a couple things at us. But I think we're settling down now. It's going to be a real nice second half now. These guys are fired up. They're in the game, and that's what they wanted at halftime. So we got to come out and play real good football in the second half and get a win.
Now, you were saying all week long that you knew that they were going to play you tough. What specifically has been giving you guys trouble?
Well, they've had some chances to work on some stuff. They've thrown a couple new things at us. That's all. It's not that big a deal. We got to execute a little bit better. You know, we got to win on our third downs. We haven't done that yet.
Thanks a lot.
All right.
Brent.
All right, Lisa. Yes, indeed, USC wants a shot at the title, but they have not yet pulled away from their arch rival UCLA. 9-7 as we get ready to start the third quarter. USC sits number 2 to Ohio State in the BCS standings. Almost all the experts believe a win would be enough. Don't need style points. However, Michigan and Florida are right there. So let's take a look at the top 25 opponents. Arkansas, Notre Dame, Nebraska, California, all falling to the Trojans. For Michigan, Wisconsin, Notre Dame lost to Ohio State. LSU and Tennessee in the Florida side of the ledger. So those are the current rankings, and SC played a very tough schedule. Now let's talk about UCLA and Patrick Cowan. How difficult is it as a defensive coordinator when you face a running quarterback like that?
I think it's the hardest thing because you can't account for the quarterback on every play. I mean, you say let's spy on him, but it's hard to spy on him when it's 1st and 10 and they come out of there with play action. The bottom line, if you're USC, one time, make him pay for it, and you'll slow him down a little bit. But I mean, Patrick Cowan, to me, the story of the first half of UCLA's offense with him running the football.
USC won the toss, deferred, so they'll handle the ball here to start the second half. Their running back, C.J. Gable, lets it go out of the end zone. It'll come out on the 20. Now the Best Buy playbook, and we'll take a look at exactly what Coach was telling you.
And Brent, on passing downs, you have to be very careful of USC. Don't play man-to-man coverage, but it's hard to account for a guy that can scramble every play.
And then when John David Booty rallied the Trojans, he was a little more efficient. So with John David Booty out here, Coach, what can he do against this speed upfield rush?
I think it's really important for John David Booty. Those defensive ends from UCLA are going to get up the field. He's going to have to step up in the pocket. But Brent, look to throw the ball down the field, something Troy Smith does a tremendous job of. He's not going to be able to just set his feet, but look to throw off the scramble.
It was Chauncey. So Washington with the first carry, and Chris Horton takes him down. And our Pacific Live game summary shows you the first half numbers over there rushing for UCLA. 50 of those rushing yards, Coach, belong to the quarterback.
And you have to give Cowan a lot of credit. You have to go back to Carl Durrell's decision to start Cowan over Ben Olsen. A great decision, and that's why he did it, as we see Sam Baker, the outstanding offensive tackle, Brent, down on the field.
So Sam is down on the field, being tended to. His backup, Charles Brown, is ready at the 25. He'll have to come on for at least one play. Charles Brown is a freshman from Chino Hills, California.
And Brent, Sam Baker, a lot of people say he may be the best offensive tackle in the country.
You know, Bob, if we go back to South Bend, UCLA traveled to Indiana to play the Fighting Irish, and they took them right down to the end of the game. It looked like they had it all locked up. But in the closing minute of that game, after Cowan had forged his lead, it was Brady Quinn to Jeff Samardzija, and he did the rest, pulling it out in the closing seconds. 20-17.
A three-play drive, I think, that went 80 yards. And that's good news to see Sam Baker up just walking off the field. I saw he was in the latest Mel Kiper draft index, the number 7 player potentially drafted in the entire NFL draft next April.
Second down and 9. Travis Williams usually tries to just bring a defender with him on this formation, and then Booty will throw back like he did here. They used that play last week, and putting it in the hands of Fred Davis, the tight end, who has been a factor, as we thought he would be. Verner in at that other corner, making the stop.
Every week we talk about the first drive of the second half being so important, but particularly when you're a huge underdog like UCLA. Get off the field here on third down. Just keep hanging around. Let that anxiety level for USC rise.
Sam Baker trots back onto the field for this 3rd and 2. Empty backfield. Fires complete for the first down, and it is Jarrett to the 40-yard line.
Fine line between winning and losing. Watch Alteron Werner, the freshman, try to undercut that ball right there. How about the concentration, though, of Dwayne Jarrett to come up with that catch right there. Boy, he has great hands. That uncle ought to start a receiving school back in New Jersey. He's going to make a lot of money with the drills he used back when he was a youngster.
They spotted it at the 39-yard line for the Trojans, who lead it by 2. They had a safety if you weren't with us in the first half. Throwing back to Davis for a first down, and there is a penalty flag on the play.
Offside, defense, penalties decline, first down.
So the ball will be spotted just, it's an 18-yard gain right around the 43-yard line is where it'll be spotted. UCLA territory, first drive, second half now for the Trojans.
You know there were some big-time adjustments X and O wise going on in both locker rooms as you see Fred Davis come out and emerge in the second half here for USC.
Zone blocking, cutback run, and Bruins jump it there at the point of attack. Gable back in as the running back, and we check in with Lisa.
Well, Brent, you were saying before, this opening drive of the half, very important for the Bruins. They came out of their locker room at halftime, and they looked awfully fired up. The message, I'm told, from Carl Durrell, very simple. We're exactly where we want to be.
He's given himself a chance. This is such a big drive. Pete Carroll, you could almost read it on his face, Bob. If he can march down here on the opening drive of the second half, after scoring late in the second quarter, he'd start to swing things back in Trojans' favor where everyone expected it to be before the game. Very fine tackle by Dennis Keys, who has done a splendid job of tackling. There's number 11.
Brent, you talk about the expression on Pete Carroll's face. On the opposite side, Carl Durrell. It's hard to ever read what Carl Durrell's thinking right there. He's about as stoic as I've seen on that sideline.
We want to play poker right now.
After the play, personal foul on the offense, number 66.
That's a big foul.
Run, it will be third down.
So Rochelle guilty here, and Coach Carroll wants an explanation of exactly what happened.
And if there's one area USC does struggle, they are a highly penalized team, about number 80th in the country as far as penalties. We're going to get a chance to see it.
Just stay right with it. And it looks like he put his hand up in the face mask area, right? And threw him back. That incurred the penalty against Rochelle. That's the reason why the flag was thrown. And it presents them with a 3rd and 21. Stays in the pocket, goes deep, and he and Smith miscommunicated on the play. John David was throwing it out to the sideline, and Smith was curling back in.
Boy, the penalty, as you mentioned.
And Booty said it was his fault as he comes off. Smith had broken on the end, and John David realized he did not read the route perfectly that time, what they had set up. Woidnick is back to punt now. And they're waving it away, and not a good one. Bounces out of bounds. So we'll take a break. The Trojans unable to do anything on their opening drive of the second half. It is still 9-7. This ESPN production available on ABC HD, presented by Dish Network. And near the end of the game, we'll select the Chevrolet player of the game from each team, and to honor their determination, Chevrolet will make a $1,000 contribution to each university's general scholarship fund. Sarkeesian over there with Booty on the sideline.
What a great setting this is, though. We were talking about earlier, Brent. Picture LSU's fans coming out here from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, if they play in the Rose Bowl this year.
Cowan on the throwback threw it low, and it will be 2nd down and 10. The fullback, and there is a look down on the scene. LSU has never played in the Rose Bowl, but Les Miles, their coach, has a Michigan connection, should it come to that. Although I can hear all the Wolverine folks screaming, hang on, we may yet get back to Glendale, because the Trojans with their hands full against their arch rival, and it is 2nd down and 10. And how about Wake Forest, if you have not been at the TV set earlier or on the computer? Wake Forest is going to the Orange Bowl. That is absolutely amazing as we see the possession chart here for the Bruins. Ellis making the stop on the running back. And there you see a couple punts. Then they scored the touchdown. They moved 91 yards. Cowan did it with his feet, not his arm. Then they yielded the safety punt. We got to half, and so here they are now starting out the second half.
And UCLA's defense has allowed UCLA's offense to stay in this game by holding the Trojans to only 9 points. That's the reason they're in this ball game.
Mosique McCurtis in as the nickel man. Trojans come to the gaps and drop back out and rush 4. Cowan, left hand's incomplete. Wow. Trying to do a little Doug Flutie there with the left hand.
Well, if Carl Durrell's ever going to show emotion on the sideline, he would show it right there.
Now.
Come on, Patrick. Come on, Patrick. Stay within yourself as he goes lefty.
Who's he think he is? Ben Olsen? He, of course, is the left-handed quarterback over on the sideline.
And you see Michael Petrie. Great job by Lawrence Jackson that time, running over the top of Michael Petrie, the fullback.
Perez, read back. Booms this one. Caught the jet stream. What a terrific punt. Down at the 7-yard line. Defense and kicking keep you in a lot of games, folks. That's a 63-yard punt. Yep, all the mascots are in hibernation around here. All of them are wrapped up. And Bruin Bear doesn't want to be painted the USC colors, man. 1st down and 10 for John David Booty. Let's see the 4 wide outs. They'll throw it on 1st down. Then go down the far sideline. Jarrett breaks free, got it. 45-yard line, that little burst against Rodney Van at the end.
And you love John David Booty stepping up because he had great pressure, Brent, from Justin Hickman, number 17. Just man-to-man coverage, Rodney Van and Dwayne Jarrett, and you know who's going to win that matchup. But a tremendous job of John David Booty hanging in there against the rush.
39 yards. John David has thrown for 196. 15 of 21. Out to the 46-yard line. Looking down that sideline again. Got him wide open. In the air, dropped. Unable to hang on is the running back, C.J. Gable, who circled out.
And this is an old Norm Chow, Reggie Bush play. They're going to go to the wheel route out of the backfield with Gable going down the sideline, Brent, and they had what they wanted right here. They keep everybody in up front, and they go with the wheel route. How many times we saw Reggie Bush come up with a big play on that one?
Second down and 10 for John David. Going to keep it in the air. Incomplete. Wanted Davis, the tight end. Now, we have talked about John David Booty and Matt Leinart, and here some comparison numbers from a year ago to this year, Coach.
And they actually say John David Booty a little bit stronger arm than Matt Leinart, but we've been impressed all year with the development of John David Booty. But what a big third down right here.
And of course, Matt Leinart with the Arizona Cardinals throwing for more than 400 yards last week. Third down and 10. And that'll cost him 5, make it 3rd and 15. Kyle Williams.
False start, number 78 on the offense. 5-yard penalty, third down.
And that is the 3rd false start penalty on number 78, Kyle Williams, today, I believe, Brent. Again, the speed of Justin Hickman, that defensive end.
You know, you go back to the run that the Trojans have made after the loss to Oregon State, and that was back in October. But the November run has been superb. In the last 3, Oregon, Cal, Notre Dame at the very top of their game. It's hard to stay up at the top week after week after week. And here against a rival determined to end a 7-game losing streak, UCLA is playing a whale of a game, and the Trojans are not sharp. Third down and 15, quick, and it is punting time coming up for USC, and the Bruins are very much in the thick of this now. They got a chance now, Coach, to go all the way, not just stay close.
And I am so impressed. You're right, Brent. I'm so impressed with Dwayne Walker, the defensive coordinator. That time came with a zone blitz, spied the nose guard, Chase Moline, out of there, kind of anticipating that little hot route by USC.
Wojtek. At the 20-yard line, it's fielded by Graves. Looking alley, got it, stumbles down at the 45. Ryan Graves, the sophomore from California, a 24-yard return after a 39-yard punt. And look at what we've got here, ladies and gentlemen.
And USC 84th in the country, Brent, in net punting. They've given up 2 punt returns for touchdowns this year, and he was within a whisker of breaking that one.
Saving tackle by Kalua Maiava. Maiava with a great saving tackle. First down and 10 for Patrick Cowan. Rush 4. Coming down near side, complete at the 40-yard line. A perfectly thrown strike to Marcus Everett. 16 yards.
They talk about Marcus Everett running great routes. You can see not a lot of speed right there, but an excellent little comeback route on Terrell Thomas.
Cowan has thrown for only 58 yards, 5 of 10, run for another 50. Doesn't have game breakers on the outside like USC. Petrie's the fullback. Play action, rolling, coming, strike to the 30-yard line, and another 1st and 10. Paulson, the tight end.
And Logan Paulson, the big tight end. One of the most difficult plays to defend in football is the misdirection crossing route. And right now, the Bruins throwing the football down the field.
First and 10 across the 30-yard line. Empty backfield. Spread the field. Deflected, second down and 10.
And UCLA, Brent, maybe the best place kicker in the country, Justin Medlock. I know they're thinking touchdown right now, but they have an outstanding kicker in Medlock.
Ellis deflected that ball. Cedric Ellis. There's Medlock over there. He's 24 of 28 kicking field goals. His long is 51 yards. Second and 10. Cowan positions the wideouts. Rolling the pocket, throwing it underneath to the fullback, but they only gained about a yard. Petrie slipping out. Here comes your 3rd and big, or we'll turn it over to Justin Medlock. And he would be kicking to regain the lead for the Bruins, but here's the 3rd and 9.
Again, on this down and distance now, if I'm USC, I account for the quarterback, Cowan, potentially running the football, Brent. I don't play man-to-man coverage. I maybe even spy someone, because I would rather have Patrick Cowan throw the football right here than run the football.
Split backs they've thrown from this formation. They're going to again. Spins away. Cowan on the move. A strike. Marcus Everett, who brought the play in from the sideline, makes the reception, and it's a 1st and 10, 14 yards.
And you have to love Patrick Cowan, that has had so much success running the football, Brent. This time he scrambles, but he looks to throw the ball down the field instead of just taking off and running for a huge 1st down right there. Again, Marcus Everett on the catch.
Everett set down beautifully. 1st down and 10. Ball across the 15-yard line. Cowan keeps it on the ground with Marquis. Now our quarterback comparison today, and in one area where John David cannot hold up, is running the football. 50-7, Cowan with an edge, and in passing the ball, 196-85, John David.
And you love right there, 0 interceptions by the young Cowan.
2nd down and 8 with John David, and we've got to have a timeout called here. The Bruins are going to go over, and they're going to talk about it here, using one of their 2nd half timeouts. Cowan, you can see how big he is. He's 6'5", 220 pounds. Meanwhile, look of concern over here for Coach Carroll. This aerial coverage of Pasadena in the background brought to you by Goodyear Tires, featuring triple tread technology with 3 separate tread zones for peace of mind in any weather. 2nd down and 8 now. Cowan fires, end zone, incomplete. What'd you think? A little yellow was gonna come out?
I thought there was going to be some yellow come out. Kerry Harris hanging with Junior Taylor right there. Had what they wanted, the out route. Good no call right there.
Looked a little bit like Harris slipped at the end too, didn't it?
I've got to ask you one thing. Sure. I bet our ratings in the states of Ohio and Michigan are off the charts right now. You know Troy Smith, Jim Truss, the whole state of Ohio is watching this, and you know they're watching in Michigan now.
How about state of Florida?
Well, yeah, but they got the SEC championship game.
They got to take care of their business.
Exactly.
Right? 3rd down and 8. Quick pop over the middle. Can they get the 1st down? Do not. Now it's a decision. Everett was the receiver. He's got the best field goal kicker. But does he want to settle for the 1-point lead here? Wheels are turning, wants the spot. Will he go?
He's going to kick it if it's short. Get the lead, put more pressure on USC. How about Patrick Cowan, though, Brent? Getting rid of that football against the blitz.
Let's see. Let's watch this measurement, Bob. I know. I didn't think he had it.
I didn't
naked.
either.
No, he didn't. Clearly, yeah. But that does give them crowd yelling to go. He's got a good running quarterback, and he wants a field goal team.
Yeah,
Sent him out with a left hand. You could see him, and so here it comes. He's the all Pac-10 field goal kicker. He'll be named to a couple of All-American teams next week. He's a senior. Justin Medlock, 24 of 28 this year, and he's hit all 25 of his extra points. This would boost the Bruins ahead, and Coach, you're saying good move.
Oh, I agree. I mean, make it a 10-9 game. Let your defense go play. Points are hard to come by against USC's defense now.
Here's your 22-yard. It's for the lead. We'll see the reaction. So UCLA leading USC 10-9. 5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. How much fun is this? So there we are, UCLA leading at 10-9. And Bob, again, we were with Coach Durrell yesterday. He said the more we can hang in the game, and you talked about in the first half, the more pressure we apply to USC.
Yeah, I mean, that clock just keeps ticking. 5 minutes and 45 seconds left in the third quarter. You have the lead right now. I mean, USC's seen it all over the last 4 years, but they are human. And let me tell you something, it's a lot more fun sometimes to be the spoiler, and a lot less pressure on UCLA right now than USC.
So USC will return this kickoff. C.J. Gable. Wow, what a leg, huh? Coming out of the 20-yard line. Find now tonight at 7:45 Eastern. Big one in the Big East. Ray Rice leads the Scarlet Knights into Morgantown to take on the Mountaineers. A berth in the BCS and the Big East Championship on the line. Also tonight at 8 Eastern on ABC, Nebraska and Oklahoma rumble in the Dr. Pepper Big 12 Championship game. College football lives here, and won't that be a scene with all the Cornhusker fans and Sooner fans in Kansas City, and a little cold chill in the air. First down and 10 here. USC trailing it by a point, 5:29. Gable, conservative first down call.
UCLA defense, we've mentioned it several times, Brent, not very big, but they have a lot of speed, as we see Steve Sarkisian right there, the assistant head coach here at USC. But they match up well against USC because USC is a speed offense.
It's 2nd and 8 for the Trojans. The three-step deflected, incomplete. Deflected at the line of scrimmage, and it'll be 3rd down. Hickman there. Patrick Turner, Wayne Jarrett, Thomas Williams, the blocking fullback, comes in for this 3rd down.
They always told me these UCLA fans are laid back. They don't get very noisy. They're rocking it right now in this Rose Bowl, Brent, on 3rd down.
This could be one for the ages. 3rd down and 8. Slips down. Just short of the 15-yard line. John David Booty slipping.
Again, Bruce Davis, 44 on Sam Baker, the outstanding left tackle. You see Bruce Davis up the field. Again, John Booty not really used to having to step up with that kind of pressure, just slips.
Bruins figuring to get field position. Woidneck. Fair catch is going to be signaled at the 45-yard line. UCLA can play with a short field now. Teams ranked in BCF's top 2 to lose their last regular season game. UCLA had it wrapped up at 98. A hurricane makeup game, lost at Miami. Nebraska rolled into Boulder, got beat up by Colorado. Florida against Tennessee. Tennessee against LSU. Ohio State against Michigan. The list goes on. And Pete Carroll and the Trojans trying to avoid being added to that list. And when coach bends down like that, getting serious, folks. Getting real serious. Patrick Cowan. Fumble at the snap, but Cowan appeared to go right back down on it.
And Brent, we looked at those games of the ranked teams losing their last game. I don't think any doubt this would be the biggest upset of all. And right there, UCLA, good job by Patrick Cowan of not panicking, just getting down on that football. But would you agree this would be the biggest upset? Yeah, looking back at that list of those games.
This is big. It was an upset, the number of points that the Buffaloes put up that time on Nebraska, even though Nebraska still made it out to the championship game. But they were mauled out there in Boulder. Now Cowan rolling, dropping it underneath to the tight end, Paulson, number 86.
And the benefit of having a quarterback that can move and run. You see again Patrick Cowan coming on the little bootleg pass. Keep in mind, they've won their last 2 football games, UCLA. They beat Oregon State. They beat Arizona State. Went through a period where they had lost 4 in a row, but they rebounded and won their last 2.
Need 9 on this 3rd down. Here comes the blitz. Cowan going to drop it off. Safety valve drop. Petrie. And it's their ball.
Brandon, it'll be interesting. Exactly. I thought when it was thrown, it was a lateral. The officials agreed. I'm sure this will be, as all plays, reviewed, but a mistake right there by Patrick Cowan.
Ellis pounces on this ball. You can't tell from that angle.
And Brent Petrie obviously should have caught that football. But yeah, that is a backwards pass. It is a lateral USC ball as Cedric Ellis falls on it.
The opportunity that the Trojans have been waiting for. Can they pounce on it? 1st down and 10. Remember when he tried to do too much with the left-handed pass, but that time the back lets him down. There's a penalty flag prior to the snap. The Trojans have already been penalized 7 times for 47 yards.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 66 on the offense. 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
And that tells you how good this UCLA defense is, because this is a well-coached, talented offensive line, Brent, and they've had all kind of false start penalties today. Getting a lot of different looks with some speedy athletes on the other side of that ball, causing them to jump around.
That's 4 false starts on the part of the Trojans. 1st down and 15. Gable tries to stretch it. Down he goes in a heartbeat against Reggie Carter, the freshman linebacker from right here in L.A.
I'll tell you something, Brent. This defense is good. I mean, they have some speed. They have some playmakers. Here's the freshman right here, Reggie Carter. Excellent push up the field by Justin Hickman caused that ball to bounce outside. But if you can run and you have a good scheme, you have a chance on defense.
One of the youngsters, Bob, from Crenshaw High School, and UCLA has done a superb job of recruiting in the inner city at Crenshaw in particular. 2nd down and 19. Booty gets time, goes to probe the middle. It's short of the 1st down. Davis is the tight end. He's across the 40, but they have to get across to the 34-yard line. Taylor, the defender right there.
Boy, you see when John David Booty can set his feet and throw, he's a lot like Brady Quinn. You have to force him to jump around in that pocket, because if he sets and plants, he delivers the football.
3rd and 5. Long handoff to Gable. And he is short of the 1st down. Here comes your 4th down and short now with time running down in the 3rd quarter. Bruce Davis is there defensively. And Sarkisian and Pete has already made up his mind. Yeah. He's told Sarkisian what he wants done here. He didn't hesitate.
He made up his mind on 3rd down, Brent. That's why they ran that football right there. You better cover the tight end, Fred Davis. You remember against Notre Dame, some of those little option routes to the tight end.
Will they get it off before the end of the 3rd quarter? Referee blew the whistle here. And final seconds ticking away. And I think the quarter came to an end here. They just have to make the announcement.
It seemed like he blew that whistle prior to the end of the quarter. Maybe something with the 25-second clock.
Jack Fuller, the referee.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter.
I'm glad we got that straight. And ESPN's College Football at ABC returns after this message. and a word from our ABC stations. All right, it's time to wheel the victory bell back to its hiding place, its vault here at USC. But should the Bruins hang on, it must be turned over Monday and painted blue. On 4th down, quick snap, they ate it up. Bruin football. Darrell's defense holds the most emotion we've seen him show in maybe years. -4 on the play. Christian Taylor, the linebacker, makes the stop.
Interesting call out of respect for the UCLA defense. They get up and snap it quick. And I mean, Christian Taylor just runs through unblocked, Brent. Sometimes when you go on that quick count, you don't have a chance to see what the defensive line's in. What a huge stop. Carl showing some juice right now.
Got that 1st down and 10 for Patrick Cowan. He'll show a whole lot more if they can hang on here for the final 15 minutes. Marquis across the 45-yard line. It was Tommy Prothero once who described his UCLA team as those gutty little Bruins. And here they are, the gutty little Bruins, 15 minutes away. What would be one of the biggest upsets in the history of this series. All the money's on the table for USC. 2nd down. Closing is never easy. McKee. Penalty flag comes flying by the umpire. Usually that's holding.
Brent, they cannot block Cedric Ellis, the nose guard. Again, that's the 3rd hold we've seen that they've held Cedric Ellis. Big-time playmaker in the middle.
Holding on the offense, number 71. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat 2nd down.
Tavaga that time. Remember, the inability to hold him out led to that safety in the 1st half.
Hurt early in the year. Pete Carroll glad to have him back. And UCLA, can they execute good enough to close the deal? Last series, fumbled snap, lateral that was the turnover, now the holding penalty, Brent. The offense has to execute.
2nd down and 15. The Bruins must get to midfield for a 1st down. Need 15 here on the 2nd down. Cowan rolls the pocket hard, throws back low, incomplete, and here's the 3rd down and 15.
Look at Patrick Cowan. He's smiling a little bit there. He hadn't been a quarterback long enough to feel the heat. He's kind of naive. Only started his senior year in high school. Only recruited by Sacramento State and Idaho.
Here's a 3rd down. Gets time. Fires high, grab, 1st down. Everett. Marcus Everett snares another one.
And USC only rushes 3. Patrick Cowan has time to step up, and another great route and a great catch by Marcus Everett. But look at the time. Marcus Everett has stepped up today, Brent, and made some catches. These UCLA wide receivers under fire earlier in the season for no playmakers. They're making some plays today.
So on 3rd and 15, they pick up 21. Come back, middle open, Marquis, busts for 12 more, and that's another 1st down.
UCLA, a zone blocking team. Jim Coletto, the offensive line coach. Momentum of the game so big right now. UCLA riding that momentum and running the football.
Jim Coletto, a very good football coach. Was once the head coach at Purdue. Was once the coordinator for Bob Davie at Notre Dame. He's been in the National Football League with Baltimore and Oakland. He has a hand in what's going on here. The backup now, Williams. Thomas makes a stop on Derek Williams, the junior.
And you read the body language right now of these USC players, and read the body language right now of Patrick Cowan. Momentum completely on the side right now of UCLA. You convert a big 3rd and 15 like that, that takes the air out of that defense.
2nd and 5. Here's Williams again. 1st down to the edge of the red zone.
Then Khalil Bell, UCLA's backup tailback, out and suspended. Williams, the fastest of the UCLA tailbacks, but that doesn't look like a USC defense right there, Brent. Not a lot of swarming going on. Not a lot of guys just flying to the football. They're back on their heels right now.
Marquis back in as the running back. Marquis stopped in the middle. Keith Rivers, number 55, the linebacker. We check in with Matt Weiner in New York. Here it is, 2nd down and 8 for UCLA, leading the number 2 ranked team, USC, by a point. 11 minutes now to go in regulation. Play fake. Cowan rolling hard to the left, wants to run it. Cuts back, got his 1st down. And I believe a penalty flag. The side judge over there, at least I saw something. There's another one coming down.
I think, Brent, they're going to get Dallas Sartz over there on a late hit out of bounds on Patrick Cowan.
After the play, personal foul on the defense, late hit, number 42. Anyways, half of this to the goal. 1st down.
Let's take a look now, see what happened. Number 42 is the linebacker in question. Not sure about that one, Coach. It looked to me like he was right on the edge there, and that.
You know, Brent, I agree, because that kid can run, Patrick Cowan. Is Sark supposed to not know he's going to could cut back against the grain and stay in bounds? Let him play.
We'll see if the Bruins can take advantage. Moline in as a running back. He probes the middle, and the Trojans are there. They push the pile a little bit. Going behind the left side, which is Lannis. Alexei Lannis grew up in Russia. Come over here, he's a freshman, Los Angeles, California. Learned his football after coming over to the United States, number 78. Tavaga, a junior over there.
You know, UCLA with the open date last week. USC playing that late game in the Coliseum against Notre Dame. UCLA looks a little fresher, maybe because they have so much momentum going right now.
Play fake. Cowan in trouble, took a sack. Wow. At the 12-yard line. A lot of coaches will tell you, instead of that, Bob, throw that thing out of the back of the end zone down there in the red zone.
Well, Brent, that was a big sack. They come with Cushing, the outside linebacker, and also Sartz. But you're right. I mean, that would have been a good opportunity to throw it away.
Here's a 3rd down and goal, and it's back at the 12-yard line.
One good thing, that clock just keeps ticking.
Oh, this holding them to a field goal would be huge for the Trojans right here. This is a major 3rd down in this game. Slips, comes back, drops it off to the tight end. That won't get him a touchdown.
Oh, man.
Sart's helping finish up against Paulson. Harris also there. Rivers. So here comes the field goal unit. Here comes Justin Medlock. After making one earlier, he's 25 of 29 for the season. One of the best kickers in the country.
Brent, you are right. Just holding them to a field goal opportunity, huge, as UCLA had that ball inside the 5 and couldn't capitalize.
Cowan's the holder. .31-yarder is good. 8:49 left. Can USC make it to Arizona? Well, help decide the Pontiac game-changing performance of the year. Voted at ESPN.com. Search Pontiac to determine which school will win the $100,000 General Scholarship Fund contribution, courtesy of Pontiac. Patrick Cowan and the Bruins with a courageous performance here so far against a USC team that came to the Rose Bowl favored by 2 touchdowns. Everybody's choice to wind up in Arizona to play Ohio State. But hold on, everybody. Here comes the kickoff by Medlock. It'll be down in the end zone. Now let's take a look at the ESPNU All-State Standings Review. I know some of you have just joined us. And of course, there are the Buckeyes. They are in. USC looked to be in good shape until they met UCLA. So Michigan, which is idle and lost only by 3 points in Columbus. They've got a heck of an argument. And now Florida trying to put some numbers against Arkansas. So let the computers work.
Does anybody really want a playoff? This is pretty good stuff now without a playoff, don't you think? Last several weeks in college football, Brent, it's been pretty good, hasn't it?
I was hoping I could get out of here with that. First down now. Here comes John David. Coming in underneath to Jared. It's 13-9. We check in now with Lisa.
Well, Brent, as you said earlier, you know Michigan Wolverines and all of their fans are watching this game. Desmond Howard actually spoke to a couple of players earlier today for me, and while they are not watching the game together as a team, you know that players are watching this game. Lloyd Carr was on ESPN Radio earlier this afternoon, and he said, obviously, we would love a rematch, and he also said he would be in favor of a playoff. But, Brent, if the score holds right now, would he still want that playoff?
Exactly. Good question. 2nd and 2. And the Bruins' stout defense. This has been the story of the game. Is that performance up front. Bruce Davis. That was Brigham Harwell making the stop. Kevin Brown has been in there. Justin Hickman. And you can see the mighty M of Michigan.
I'll tell you one thing, and you know this as well as I do. Pete Carroll football teams always have something left in that tank, Brent. Always find a way. So don't start making those reservations just yet if you're a Michigan fan.
3rd down and 1. Booty fires and a little bit of an awkward pass. And it will be 4th down and 1 with 7:12. No percentage here. Greg Woidneck.
Brent, again, John David Booty not able to set his feet. Reggie Carter, number 51, the linebacker on the blitz, almost like the interception he threw against Notre Dame last week. If he doesn't set his feet, like most quarterbacks, he struggles.
Dennis Keys is back. Fair catch. Fumble. Picks it up on the bounce, and Sark rides him down at the 15-yard line. Dallas Sart's all over Dennis Keys, the junior, who was in there. He had replaced Ryan Graves, who had been back there returning punts. Look to see Graves if they punt again. We've got a timeout. Here's a little note for you LSU fans. If you received that anticipated invitation to the Rose Bowl, make a date with that parade earlier in the morning. A classic. 1st down and 10. Cowan rolling. Incomplete. Wanted Everett. And our Pack Life game summary for those of you who just joined us. The Bruins actually struck first. It was Cowan taking them down the field, Bob, and running it in himself.
No question, game. Brett, this game on offense has been Patrick Cowan running the football, Marcus Everett making some catches for UCLA, and then the UCLA defense has been the story of this football game.
And there you saw the scoring. Medlock tacking on 2 field goals. It's a 4-point game. We've got an injured UCLA player down on the field right now, 13-9. And yet, while we have an opportunity, let's check in with New York. And here, Michael Petrie, receiving assistance, and he'll get now. Do you know how paranoid the great Wolverine fans are? First they come, oh, all right, oh, we got USC. Now we got to go watch what happens to Florida.
Exactly.
You know,
they're wearing that remote out as we speak right now. But I don't even want to try to figure out the scenario of what happens if UCLA pulls this upset.
Now they lead it by 4 here with 6:46 to go. They have played a terrific game defensively. They have held the Trojans now to an average of 5.1 yards per play, and they have taken the big play away from USC. Pete Carroll's been unable to strike for that killer, that 65-yard, 70-yard touchdown that has become so much a part of their repertoire.
And really one big play to Dwayne Jarrett. And you look at this USC football team, they do look a little tired right now. There ain't any question about that. But can the UCLA offense not be a liability here late and make a big mistake?
Let me take everybody back to the top of the chart for the BCS, because the 2 finalists are not coming from any place else. Ohio State is in. They will go to Glendale, Arizona, and they will be playing there on January 8th. Now, USC win, and everybody felt that's all they would have to do, even though they're a 9-4-6 to a 9-2-2. Michigan unable to help themselves because they didn't have a game left after losing their final game. But Florida putting themselves very much in position. All the conventional wisdom was Arkansas was going to beat the Gators, and now it is the Gators who are on fire. Danny Nelson has replaced the injured fullback. And now there is Marquis. And the one thing that Durrell and the Bruins don't want to do, don't sit on a 4-point lead.
And I think
gotta
that was
keep
what
firing.
I
There's
agree.
nothing to lose here now.
And that's why I like the call on 1st 10 of Patrick Cowan trying to throw the football. Another big 3rd down. Marcus Everett, number 9, has been huge on 3rd down today, Brent.
Well, here it is, 3rd and 10. Everett's down to the bottom of your screen. You see him as he split in, just moved up to the scrimmage line. Cowan rolling in that direction, looking downfield. Going to take off. Can he get the first down? Oh, he's drilled at the 22 by Ray Mawalaluga, number 58. And look at him pop back.
How about that? And I'll tell you what, that is a big-time double lick by Mawalaluga and Dallas Sarge right there. What a lick.
4th down. Six minutes to go. UCLA punting. 4th down and 3. Here's Reed. They'll let this one roll out of bounds on the far side at about the 28-yard line. The young man who is only a sophomore. Remember the name, Mawalaluga. He can bring it.
Oh, and he is growing up today.
Here we are live, and let me show you what happened just moments ago. Unsportsmanlike against both teams as they start woofing at each other. They were jumping around near their own sidelines, and suddenly the barking began. The yellow flew, and it was against both teams. And now we come to a very emotional 5:52 left in this football game.
Brent, I think that helps USC. USC just a little bit flat back on their heels. You come out there and challenge the Trojans, you better be ready now.
13-9. John David Booty is 17 of 28 for 218 yards. Let's check in quickly with Lisa.
Well, Brent, Coach David was saying earlier the body language on the Trojans bench didn't look that great. I can promise you, after Maualuga drilled Patrick Cowan, everyone on the USC sideline jumped up and down. They feel like they're right back in this now.
And UCLA feels that they've never been out of it. First down and 10. Pump fake, close it in, sacked. At the 25-yard line, Bruce Davis, who has been spectacular. 6'3", 237 pounds from Houston, Texas.
And Brent, again, Sam Baker, an NFL offensive tackle, a little bit late getting out of his stance. And that time, Bruce Davis kind of powered him back into the quarterback.
Second down and 14. Backfield is empty. UCLA rushes 4. Incomplete. Here's what the Trojans haven't been able to do here. 4 punts on downs. Haven't gained even 35 yards on a single drive against this defense. Spectacular with Dwayne Walker, the defensive coordinator. Came to the Bruins from the NFL. Has had an extra week to read what John David Booty, there he is, on that far side, and he is the assistant coach of the day right now. No question about it. Third down and 14. Rush 4, a penalty flag flies. Knocked away from Jarrett, but there's a penalty flag. Came early.
And first, Brent, I don't think USC had enough players on the line of scrimmage. I think it was an illegal formation.
That's what Taylor's signaling for the Bruins, that it's going against him. He's been the middle linebacker, but there's another one downfield.
Illegal formation on the offense. Pass interference on the defense, number 3. Penalties offset. Third down.
4:42. Watch this. This was the pass interference call against Jarrett. You see.
Got there a little bit early. Sets up another 3rd and 14. And just watch the matchup between Sam Baker, Kyle Williams, the 2 offensive tackles, and these 2 defensive ends from UCLA.
Bruins rush 4. John David fires. Smith's got it short of the first down, but you would think he's going to have to go. Christian Taylor unloads on him at 4:30 here. You go back to the last time that USC played in the Rose Bowl against Texas, and you come down to that 4th down that they failed to pick up, but they didn't hesitate. There's 4.5 minutes left here for Pete Carroll.
And Brent, he's going to go for it right here. Even though they have 3 timeouts left, I think Pete Carroll will go for it on 4th down. I do think they're a little short.
They have tried it twice, and they've failed both times in this game. They go, it'll be the 3rd time that they've gone against this Bruin defense.
Most coaches with 3 timeouts, the kind of defense USC has, UCLA's been unable to move the football, would punt the football right here knowing you're going to get it back. But Pete Carroll has lived with this, and it's the biggest reason he's been successful. He rolls the dice.
Trying to make it the hard way here. John David's got the play. He's coming out now.
You have to think quarterback sneak.
Remember they ran that little fake against Notre Dame last week and pitched out to a running back going wide.
And did it once already today. I think they're going to sneak it, Brent.
Tight formation. Bruins close in. Quick snap. Booty keeps trying to move the pile. It looks like he passed that yellow line for a first down.
And I'll tell you, I give Pete Carroll credit because he is consistent with it. Went for it on 4th down in the Rose Bowl. Didn't make it. He didn't shy away.
Now look at this reaction. Where is the spot?
Boy, I thought he made it just looking at the surge. Where's the football?
Well,
he's got the foot down.
The scrum down at the bottom, but the play's whistled down. Now, where the spot is versus that yellow line, which is not always 100%, but it's been a pretty good measurement. So we'll let them bring it out, and they'll show us. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
Length of a football.
Thought they at least have a bit of a Reggie Bush push in there. He did it on his own right there. USC still with 3 timeouts.
That chain measurement helps that UCLA defense get their breath. First down and 10. They curl, the rush 5, and it's incomplete. Working games with the outside linebacker and the defensive end. And they have caused USC problems here today. 13-9 and 3:59. Second down and 10.
Boy, Dwayne Jarrett has to show up here, doesn't he, Brent? It has to be Dwayne Jarrett time.
Coming in underneath the gable, short of the first down.
And that time, UCLA, Dwayne Walker double teamed. They bracket coverage. Dwayne Jarrett forced Booty to go to the check down.
USC with all 3 of its timeouts remaining, in case you're wondering. UCLA with 2. Need 3. Fires for it. Got it. Tight end Davis crosses midfield. Chains move, and clock ticks as soon as they restart.
Again, I'm impressed with Dwayne Walker, Brent. He flat double teamed Dwayne Jarrett again. So they're trying to take the big playmaker out of the game, force USC to go somewhere else.
Jarrett on the game, 4 catches for 68 yards. Davis, the tight end, 6 for 68. Comes to Smith underneath. And he's drilled by Rodney Van, number 3 at the end. Trey Brown was also there.
A lot of people thought UCLA got really conservative defensively at the end of the Notre Dame game. Getting a little bit conservative right here, Brent. I look for him to heat them up. I mean, Dwayne Walker learned earlier. He did the same thing against Cal. They got conservative. I don't think they're going to sit back much longer. They're going to come after Booty.
They'll try to run forward. Gable, and he'll be thrown down short of it. On second down, Justin Hickman, number 17 at the bottom of the pile. He's the senior from Glendale, Arizona, and that is where USC is trying to get.
Brent, that was a great play by Hickman. Watch 17 on the inside move. beats the guard, 66, Rachel. Great move.
3rd down and 3. And whistle before the snap. Another costly mistake already. 9 penalties against the Trojans today for 55 yards.
The play was illegal. There's no foul, and there's no play. There's no play. So it'll still be 3rd down. The clock will start on the ready for play.
Interesting do-over.
Love the tight end, Fred Davis. 3rd down yardage right here.
The freshman's his running back, Gable. Bruins rush 4. Booty steps up, fires complete at the 25-yard line to Smith. Steve Smith, the senior.
And they went after the freshman, true freshman, Alteron Werner, number 1. Again, they're bracketing Dwayne Jarrett, which means it's one-on-one coverage. And John David Booty, you see him going through the whole progression right there and found the one-on-one coverage.
Pump fake, comes back. Complete now to McFoy. So here, Rose Bowl in Pasadena, California. UCLA upsetting USC 13-9. A minute and a half to play in regulation. With Bob Davie and Lisa Salters, I'm Brent Musburger. Nice to have all of you along with us who've been here all day, and those of you who are just joining us. This has been, no matter what happens, a tremendous performance by the Bruins. Booty fires end zone, incomplete. His man was covered. He came back to Chris McFoy. And they are going to move to 3rd down. The last time the Trojans played the Rose Bowl, not a happy ending. But there was ecstasy in the state of Texas when Vince Young and the Horns pulled it out in the closing seconds. Now it is 3rd down and 4 here. USC only 6 of 16 on 3rd downs today. Deflected, intercepted on the deflection. What a play by Eric McNeal, the senior backup linebacker from Carson, California. The deflection and the pick. And joy reigns in Michigan and Florida.
And the UCLA defense, Brent, they didn't seal the deal in South Bend, but they're able to seal it right here. Eric McNeal, a converted safety who is now the nickel linebacker. They will remember that play forever.
3 timeouts remaining, and USC has just used one of them. So USC's first turnover of the game may have cost them a spot in the national championship game. And let me go back to a little bit of a story. It had kind of a little cute twist. After Pete Carroll wrapped up the Pac-10 for the 5th straight year and getting to the Rose Bowl, he said, you know, the Rose Bowl is always our goal when the season begins. That's our goal, get to the Rose Bowl. Carl Durrell over there read the quotes, and at his news conference he said, you know, I really want to give Pete Carroll his wish. I really want to send him to the Rose Bowl. So keep in mind now, as part of the story here, when UCLA wins, USC would come to the Rose Bowl. Their likely opponent would be, we'll have to wait and see.
And you know, a lot of people will talk about USC, Brent, being a little bit flat, taking this game for granted. I don't buy any of that. UCLA has played outstanding from the start to the finish, particularly their defense. This has been a great effort by the Bruins.
Well, you've got to go back now. Cade McNown, Deshaun Foster, and all that bunch. The last time that the Bruins were able to beat USC. 7 straight losses they've tasted at the hands of their bitter rival, and all year long they have sat here in Los Angeles and read about all the success that USC has enjoyed, all the great recruits.
And this is what it takes to pull this kind of upset, and it's appropriate. Their defense has played outstanding all day. Eric McNeal goes up, bats the ball to himself, makes the interception, and this look on Pete Carroll's face is going to say it all.
90,622, that's the attendance, and by next Friday 175,000 will claim they were here. That's how it works with a big event like this. 13-9, and UCLA 110 away from one of the biggest upsets in the history of this rivalry. Can you imagine not just snapping a losing streak, not just beating your arch rival, but keeping them from playing for a national championship? It doesn't get any bigger than that. No way, no how. Karl Dorrell, by far the biggest win of his coaching career. If they can just hang on here for 110. There's Marquis. Tried to punch the ball out. That's Kevin Ellison. It looked like he was punching the running back, but he was trying to punch the ball out, and folks who didn't have a good angle on that they're really upset about that. So there's another timeout.
USC, number 2.
One left, and now Pete wants to make sure that he calms them down. Remember, now still to come more drama from Kansas City, Nebraska, and Oklahoma for the Big 12 championship.
And Brent, a win like this, if UCLA can hold on, what does this do for recruiting for this program?
How big is this for UCLA? Timeout. Aerial coverage brought to you by Goodyear Tires, featuring triple tread technology with 3 separate tread zones for peace of mind in any weather. The Rose Bowl about ready to explode. 102. USC wanting to force the punt, give themselves at least 16. Takeaway would be their first preference. 2nd down and 12. Keep the clock running. Marquis. Now at the 22-yard line. This will be 3rd down.
And Brent, I've got it to where this is USC's last time out. So it could be 4th down with about 20 seconds, maybe 16 seconds left on 4th down for UCLA, if nothing bizarre happens right here. So they're going to force UCLA into a 4th down decision with around 20 seconds left in this game.
Aaron Perez could become the biggest man of the day punting for UCLA. Trojans will send the kitchen sink after him.
You have to think UCLA will run the football. Obviously, that'll use about 5 seconds. It'll take about 5 seconds to spot the football, and then they'll use all 25 seconds of the play clock, which means there should be about 17 seconds left on 4th down for UCLA.
Perez today has punted 5 times for 45 yards, but perhaps more importantly, he has not had one blocked this season.
And Brent, can I get Dwayne Walker a pay raise right now? The defensive coordinator for UCLA.
Brilliant job.
If they took a vote of all these people wearing blue, he'd be the highest paid defensive coach in the country after this game.
Here is 3rd down and 8 for Cowan and the Bruins. Here's the running play, and now the punt. Ball is spotted inside the 25-yard line.
USC has blocked 4 kicks on the season. Why this clock is stopped right now?
It's strange that he stopped the clock right there. Of course, that's coming up next at Dr. Pepper Big 12 Championship of Kansas City, Nebraska, Oklahoma. That'll be a great scene. But here we've come down to 39 ticks of the clock left, and here comes Perez now and the punt team.
Brent, they're going to let it run down.
Taking the seconds.
UCLA has not had any punt blocked all season. I think it's too far out to mess with taking a safety or anything like that. Just catch it, punt it, the ball game.
And you got Desmond Reed back here. At speed as a return man. They bring it down to 13 seconds.
Again, UCLA has not had a punt block. Just punt it away from Desmond Reed.
Timeout, UCLA. The timeout was called prior to the expiration of the play clock.
And this is unbelievable right now. I don't think anyone in the country saw this coming. And how about the BCS decision now, Brent, of potentially Michigan or Florida going to Glendale?
USC clinging to the final few seconds here. 15 been put on the clock.
And I think that was a good move because they wasted a couple seconds when the official stopped the clock there for some reason.
Reed is back as a return man. Reed's long, 43 yards. Gets it off. Reed being driven way back. It's a boomer on the hop. Away from it with 4 ticks of the clock left. 4 seconds away after a 62-yard punt by Perez. The Bruins will drop back into the prevent. And a national championship is about to disappear. Any chance has eluded USC unless they stage a miracle. Deep to Smith. Ricochet. The gutty little Bruins have done it. They have stunned USC. Let's go to Lisa.
Coach, with so much on the line tonight, can you just describe what you're feeling right now?
No, not now. I can't. I don't even have any feelings right now. I'm real disappointed that we didn't get our points on the board all day long. You know, they did a fine job. You know, hats off to Carl. They did a great job to get this win today. you know, it could happen, and it did, and they did a fine job to get that done. So, you know, there's a million things we could talk about right now. We just didn't get our win today.
You guys are known for so much offense. How were they able to limit you offensively?
Yeah, it just didn't happen today. Dwayne Walker did a great job, and their whole staff. So really just got to credit them today. I thought that's all I can tell you.
With the national championship hopes now gone, what do you tell your guys in the locker room?
We're going to go to the Rose Bowl. We're going to go to the Rose Bowl and make it a great event for us, and do everything we can to have a great time.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
And we look forward to seeing USC in the Rose Bowl. Meanwhile, UCLA will head up to San Francisco, the Emerald Bowl, and Florida State. And what a high. They won't even need an airplane to get to San Francisco. The Chevrolet players of the game: Fred Davis, the tight end, 6 for 68 yards. And the gutty performance by quarterback Patrick Cowan, 114 yards in the air, 55 more on the ground, leading to a touchdown. He ran it in. And in recognition of their efforts, Chevrolet will make a $1,000 contribution to each university's general scholarship fund. There is something magical about a big upset in college athletics. Back to Lisa.
Coach Durrell, I asked Pete Carroll the same question. Obviously, it's going to be different for you. What are you feeling right now?
I feel great for our players. You know, they had to endure a whole lot of information, a lot of mess. It was just fun for them. I really am proud of them. They hung in there. Nobody believed in us. We only believed in ourselves. And this is just great for them. So I'm just really happy for them.
When you saw that deflection and interception, what went through your mind?
We got a chance to win it. And that's all we wanted to do is stay close, stay in the game, play great defense, be smart with the ball on offense, get some points on the board and get a chance to win, and that's what we did.
Now, other than you guys, who believed that you guys could pull off this upset?
Nobody. Nobody. That's why I love these guys. Great kids, great character. Had a four-game losing streak. They hung in there together. We went 3-0 at the end of the season, which was important for us to do, and we did that today.
Describe the performance of your quarterback, the guy you decided to go with, the guy you went with the last 6 games, Patrick Cowan.
Courageous. Courageous. Big-time game, big-time atmosphere. He made some plays with his feet, made some great throws. Guys stepped up and made some plays. That's what we needed. We needed that kind of effort.
How long are you going to celebrate this one?
I tell you what, I haven't won this game since I've been here. I'm going to celebrate this one a long time, so thanks.
Thanks a lot. Congratulations.
So congratulations to Karl Dorrell. The upset of the year. And an update, Florida 17, Arkansas 7. Let the computers whir. And folks, I know it's a cliche, but that's why they play these games. You know, Bobby, it was wonderful to sit in here, and you're so happy for UCLA. But on the other hand, sadness for Pete Carroll and the Trojans. They gave themselves an opportunity, but they really didn't play well.
That's it. As a former coach, I compare those emotions of Karl Dorrell, what he's feeling right now, what those Bruins are feeling in the locker room, compared to what Pete Carroll was feeling in that USC team. But don't ever underestimate, it's a lot easier to be the spoiler. But UCLA came in here. They earned this win today.
What a night it'll be for them. Once again, 13-9. UCLA stuns USC. Coming up at 8 now, it's the Dr. Pepper Big 12 Championship, Nebraska, Oklahoma. So for Lisa Salters and Bob Davie, I'm Brett Musburger. We certainly hope you enjoyed being with us this afternoon from